Wow, that was quite an entrance, isn't it? Okay, let me come back. Woo. Well, hello guys, welcome to another episode of Trying Out Tuesday, where we try to recreate new recipes every single week. Okay, that's too extra. Now let's get back. Alright, so if you're new here, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber too, thank you so much for coming back. So, are we ready? For today's Trying Out Tuesday, I'm going to be trying to make cupcakes. Not that this is my first time, but the last time I made it was 2 years ago. And guess what? It turned out with a volcano or a mountain on top of it. And if you are wondering what that looks like, this is how it looks like. And today we're going to be trying something new as well. I'm going to be trying to make Swiss meringue buttercream. Of course, I watched a lot of videos and a lot of people said it's scary to make, but we're not scared of anything. We're going in for it, okay? So I'm going to be trying to make Swiss meringue buttercream. I'm a little bit scared, I won't lie, but I'm so excited to see how this turns out. You know what? This is, as I said, we're going to be trying new things here, so it doesn't matter whether it's good or not, but I'm going to be putting my best into it and see what the results brings out. So I am going to be following recipes. I have my laptop here and I'll be going through the recipes step by step. I don't want to miss out on anything. Okay, I want to get this correctly. So without further ado, let's hop straight into this video. By the way, my ring lights are not working. I was skeptical on how to film this video, but we're using the natural light. Since the recipe asks for buttermilk, I don't have buttermilk at home, but we would be making our own buttermilk. For that we need milk and of course vinegar. A half cup of milk. We'll be needing 1.5 teaspoons of vinegar. Mix it in this cup and let it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes. We'll be needing 1.25 cup of all-purpose flour, 1.25 teaspoons of baking powder, a half teaspoon of salt, half cup of unsalted butter which is softened, and 3/4 cups of sugar, 2 large eggs at room temperature, 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract, and a half cup of buttermilk. Now that we have everything on the table, let's go back to the recipe and see what we have to start with. And yeah, so it says we need to preheat our oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit and line our cupcake muffins on the cupcake pan. So now that we've lined our baking pan and also preheated the oven already, the next step is to mix the salt and the baking powder inside the flour. So the third step is, in a bowl of an electric mixer, we need to beat the butter, sugar at a medium high speed until thick and fluffy. To be adding our 2 eggs one at a time and mix each egg until it's well incorporated into the butter mixture. Shoot! Guys, I added both of them by mistake. Whoa! Next, we're going to be adding in the vanilla extract and mix until it's well incorporated into the batter. it, we're going to be adding the flour and alternating it with the buttermilk. That means we're going to add flour, add a little bit of buttermilk, flour, a little bit of buttermilk, and then flour again. So that's what we're going to be doing before we put it inside the cupcake pan and then bake it. Now that we have everything on the table, it's time to now transfer this cupcake batter into our cupcake muffin pan, and then we should be careful not to overfill this because it's going to rise in the oven, and if we overfill it, it's just going to come out like it's going to erupt like a volcano. And that's what happened the last time I tried. It was like a volcano, mountain, I don't know. But this time we're going for a level surface, and I hope we're going to achieve that. So now let's fill this and try not to overfill the pan and put it in the oven. Alright guys, so now that we have our cupcakes in the oven, it's time to start making our Swiss meringue buttercream. And for that we'll be needing butter, and we'll be needing egg whites instead of the whole egg, and also sugar. So first we're going to be making a meringue that is basically a mixture of the egg whites and sugar, and then the butter will be added into it, making it a Swiss meringue buttercream. Woo! Look at me talking like a professional, as if I know what I'm doing. But either ways, let's get straight into this. I am so excited to try out the Swiss meringue buttercream and see how it turns out. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it turns out good. And then today will be what? A successful trying out Tuesday. So yeah. Now to make the meringue, which is basically a mixture of egg whites and sugar whipped together, you need to make sure that all the utensils you will be using is free from grease, which is like having any oil residues on it or butter or anything like that. So to do that, we need to use lemon juice or vinegar to clean all our utensils and wipe them off to free it from grease. To start making the meringue, all you need is to separate the egg, the yolk from the white, and make sure to be careful not to drop the egg yolk inside the egg whites. If not, if there is any yolk inside the egg white, the meringue won't whip up as it's supposed to, because egg white has a lot of fat in it. So that's why we cleaned our utensils to make sure that we don't have any grease in them. After separating the eggs, the next thing is to add the sugar into my egg whites and also a pinch of salt, and mix it all together before we place it on a pot of simmering water in order to melt down the sugar and also cook the egg whites a little. You also have to make sure that the bowl with the egg white is not touching the water. We just need the steam to be touching the bowl. That's why I had to remove it and reduce the water from the pot, just to make sure it's not touching my bowl. So the recipe says I need to continue stirring the egg whites and the sugar, and then use my fingertips to check if I can no longer feel any sugar particles, and that's when I know that it's time to transfer it and start whipping up the egg whites into a meringue. So we're going to be whipping the egg whites until we have a stiff peak, and to do that you can raise the bowl upside down to see if it's going to fall over, and also you can just raise your hand mixer and see if it is not going to fall back into the bowl. That's when you know you have a stiff peak, just like that. The next step is to add in your butter gradually into your meringue, and you have to make sure that the meringue is not too hot, because if it's too hot it's going to dissolve your butter. So you add in 1 tablespoon at a time and mix until it's well incorporated before you add in the other tablespoon. Whilst I was mixing, I noticed my meringue was getting like it was not stiff any longer, but the recipe says that that's how it's supposed to be until when you add in your last it will start forming as you go, and when you add in your last part of the butter, you would see the magic happen. And that was exactly how it happened. I was really happy with how it turned out. Swiss meringue buttercream has a lot of shine in it, and I love the outcome of it. You guys will get to see at the end of this. Keep on watching. been 2 hours already. Now that our cupcakes are finally cooled down, I'll be icing the cupcakes, and here is my Swiss meringue buttercream. I think it turned out really great. It's stiff, and also my cupcakes turned out really great. It's nothing like a volcano. So yeah, I'm going to be icing it with blue color. This is the only color I have. I think I'm going to divide the buttercream into 2 halves. I would use white and blue. So I'm just going to play around with the design. I'm not perfect at buttercream. I'm not perfect at icing cake, so I don't know how this will turn out, but I hope it turns out good. Let's see how it goes. First, I'm going to be coloring my icing. Let's get the bowl here. Okay guys, now we're ready to pipe. I'm basically going to cut this so the tip of the piping tip can come out, and I'm going to be using this cup to help me put my buttercream so it won't get messy over here. My wife is blue. Is it? Anyways, I was really eating this. Alright guys, that's the end of the video. I hope you like it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and also don't forget to comment in the comment section down below. It helps the video to be seen by a lot of people. And also rate these cupcakes from a scale of 1 to 10. What do you think? Obviously you can taste it, but what do you think about the appearance, the buttercream, the outcome of the cupcakes? Rate it from a scale of 1 to 10. I want to see what you guys think of it, and I know there is still room for improvement, but I'm proud of myself for doing this. And also the link to the link to the original recipe will be in the description box, as well as the measurements. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and yeah, see you in my next video. Bye.